Hello. Just casually straightening my hair in the van right now because I'm going to New York City in the morning. My train leaves at 6:15 a.m. so that means I have to get up at like 5, and I'm not trying to have to get up any earlier than I already have to. So hair is getting done tonight to save time in the morning, and I am so excited slash nervous because first of all, I love New York City. I've been there twice, but I'm going completely alone. Andy and Henry are staying in the van and I'm going in for the day. And when I say the day, I mean like the day. I get there at 8:15 a.m. and my train leaves to come back at like I think 8:45 or like 5 to 9, something like that. So I'm gonna be there for over 12 hours. I have a whole itinerary made. I was feeling a little anxious about it, so just to help myself, I made a plan and a map so I know exactly what to do. If I want to stray from that, obviously I can, but just sort of like my backup plan, just in case I get stuck and like I kind of get overwhelmed and don't know what to do. I can just follow my little guide that I made. So anyway, I'm gonna finish this and I'll see you in the morning bright and early. It is like 5:20 and I'm very tired. I think I fell asleep fairly early, like before 11, but I'm pretty sure I got like just under 6 hours of sleep. Multitasking. I was gonna do a full face of makeup today, but then I realized one, I'm not gonna have time because I have to get up so early, and two, I have to walk so much today. I'm probably just gonna sweat all of it off. We're ready. It's supposed to be a high of like 70 something, upper 70s. So shorts, t-shirt, and a little jacket because it's freezing right now, and I'm a backpack. Coming prepared. Okay, I think I have everything. Bye, Henry. I love you. Wish me luck. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for choosing Amtrak.
Can we just take a moment to acknowledge how cool it is to do things alone? Because before I met Andy, I'd say I was pretty good about doing things that I wanted to do, even if it meant doing them alone. Like even if no friends were available to join me in doing something I wanted, I would still do it. Like the month before I met Andy, for example, I went to an Elton John concert by myself because no one else wanted to spend the money. And like, how cool is that I can say I saw Elton John in concert? Okay, moment of appreciation for this beautiful sunrise shot. Well, I've started realizing since I met Andy, I don't do much by myself anymore. I mean, obviously I'd prefer if he joined me, but I've started noticing that if he doesn't want to do something, I just don't do it. And I'm not trying to live my life that way. So I guess I'm just trying to say that if you find yourself not doing something just because you'd have to do it alone, you might find it rewarding to challenge yourself to do it anyway. Okay, here we go. I'm just trying to imagine your commute to work every day being a 2-hour train ride one way. Like, can you even imagine? So if you don't know anything about New York, it's sectioned into boroughs. I want to say there's like 5, but I'm gonna go to 2 of those today. So I'm gonna go through Manhattan and I'm gonna kind of explore around that area, and then eventually I'm gonna cross into Brooklyn. So I'm gonna be in both Manhattan and Brooklyn, and it's gonna take like literally the entire day, and I'm gonna get in so many steps. Came all the way here to see the Flatiron building, and it's under construction. I thought I would talk to you a lot throughout the day, but it's proving to be really difficult because it's loud, obviously, but there's also people everywhere, and it's really embarrassing recording myself. We've been in the Adirondacks for like the past week and a half maybe. Though I love going to places where it's like solitude, after a while of that I start to go crazy and I need a city again. Like I'm just a city girl at heart, I think. So when I come back to an area like this, I just am like fully revived and like have my energy back, and like I just need the vibrations of a city, as silly as that sounds. These are the kind of streets I had in mind when I thought I want to go to New York City today. So I want to try to explain my route a little bit more, just so you understand where I'm even at throughout this video. For context, Central Park is sort of like in the middle of Manhattan, and Penn Station, where my train dropped me off, is located here. Everything I did on this day was on this half, so sort of like the tip of Manhattan. My favorite part of the whole day was a little nook called Gay Street. Obviously, when the street was named, it had nothing to do with sexuality and probably was just somebody's last name or something, but over the past however many decades, it's become a symbol for the area of the LGBTQ community. This was a little bit removed from all the hubbub, and it was the first time all day where it was sort of like, whoo, like a break from the craziness. I spent a good chunk of time here because I was just really enjoying the cuteness. After Gay Street, I hopped a couple blocks over to a little building that you probably have seen on your TV screens a time or two. Look familiar?
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
This is the exterior shot used in Friends episodes as the apartment building they all lived in.
My stone! My stone!
Next, I headed to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, and this was the only time I took an Uber the entire day. I planned to Uber more than I did, but I had so much fun walking around and looking at stuff, I ended up not getting very many rides. Okay, so going to that French place was not a part of the plan, but my phone was so low on charge, I had to get to an outlet because my phone is the only way for me to get around or like know where I am or what's going on. Luckily, I was seated at a table right next to an outlet, so I got my charge back up. It's not at 100, but good enough for now, I guess. I was gonna go to a ramen place for lunch, and now that's not gonna happen because I'm full. So I'm at the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, which is gonna be sad, but I'm still excited because I find stuff like this really educational and it interests me. And then I'm gonna try to line up back with where I was supposed to be at this time on my itinerary. The memorial is a big square waterfall with every victim's name engraved in it. On each victim's birthday, a rose is put in their name for the day. Inside the museum is some artifacts preserved from the wreckage, including steel beams, personal items of all the deceased, surviving, and first responders, fire trucks, and other parts of the towers both inside and out. Next, I walked to the Brooklyn Bridge and crossed it. I want to say it took maybe a half hour to cross the bridge one way, and it gave some of the most amazing skyline views. If you ever visit New York City, this is a must-do activity. We are doing ramen, it's just for dinner instead of lunch. And I'm running low on charge again, but I don't see an outlet, so I'm gonna have to figure something out because it's an hour and 40-minute walk back to the train station, which makes me a little nervous. I didn't realize until later that this firehouse in Brooklyn was where Ladder 118 came out of on September 11th. There's an iconic picture of them crossing the bridge into Manhattan towards the towers. This would be the truck's last run, and none of the 6 men survived. That messed me up a little bit. This is the most random book haul. We made it back to the train station. What a day. Final stats for the day. 36,000 steps and almost 14 miles. Oh man, what a day yesterday. That was so fun. I just have some things to say because yesterday I never got a chance to say these things. I kind of said this earlier in the video, but like I really thought I'd be able to talk more to the camera throughout the day, and that proved to be really difficult. One thing I want to say is I've always felt this way. Like I remember feeling this way when I visited New York in high school. Going yesterday just like reiterated my feeling that like I was totally meant to live in New York City. Like it was meant for me. It's not gonna happen at this point in my life, and I'm okay with that, but I definitely could like feel it in my bones that I was meant to live there. But I'm okay being a West Coast girly, I guess. God, when he made me to be a person who lives in New York City, but I don't think God accounted for the cost of living in 2023 when he made me. So anyway, was up and either traveling or in New York City yesterday from 4:45 in the morning to I think 11 p.m. was when I crawled into bed. So I was up for like 19 straight hours yesterday and on my feet for most of them. My entire body hurts and I'm not feeling super great today. I think I got sick yesterday because the secondhand smoke was on another level. Like I started to feel like ill. By the time I got on the train ride back, I was like nauseous and like really feeling ill because I just everywhere I walked yesterday, I was inhaling secondhand smoke. Like my throat hurts now. The inside of my nose, like down to where my nose connects to my throat, hurts really bad. So I don't know if my body is just like hurting from that exposure or if I'm actually getting like a cold, but it was worth it. I also think it's a valid thing to note here that out of that whole itinerary that I spent 2 hours making, I only missed or skipped one thing on it. And I'm really proud of that. Like I did so much stuff yesterday. The thing I missed was going to Central Park. I had plans to go to Central Park for a couple hours and just read my book. I brought my book and I didn't even bring my book out of my bag the entire day. But I thought I'd just like chill in the grass around all the people and read my book in Central Park. And it turned out not working out because of timing, and you know, my phone kept dying or getting close to dying because I was using so much juice from using my Maps app and my camera. I thought it was too risky to go all the way to Central Park, which was, by the way, really out of the way from all the other stuff I did. But I've been to Central Park 2 times before, and so I've kind of had that experience, so it's fine, and I'll get to go back someday. Overall, I'm just really happy I did everything else on my list, because everything else for the most part was stuff I hadn't done before. And then I just walked through all the little neighborhoods like Soho, Tribeca. I felt so bougie and fancy like walking through all the NYC Manhattan neighborhoods, but highly recommend doing a day trip with yourself. It's fun to spend time with yourself, and thankful that Andy held down the fort in the van, took care of Henry, brought home the bacon because he had to work yesterday. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you, because I already know the amount of work that has gone into making this video, so I appreciate it. Appreciate the watch hours. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification. It helps me out a lot, and I'll see you next week in my next video. Bye.